Appointment schedule call list. An important part of every front office is the ability of confirming appointments with their patients. The call list within Prognosis has several layers to it. There is a version available on the homepage called Patient Reminders, which is discussed in a separate video. And then there is the call list here on the schedule page, which is what we're going to look at in this video. In the upper left of our schedule, we see this section that is titled by default to be confirmed. If we click the little telephone icon, however, it opens up a user interface is controlled by a property as far as which will be your default value. So if you do not want to be confirmed as your default value, but you would prefer waitlisted or requested appointments or something of that nature, you can certainly set that property accordingly. You'll also notice here within the call list window that there is a date parameter that is definable. Whether you want to choose a specific one, such as yesterday, tomorrow, this week, or an entire date range. Now, as you're working the call list, the meaning of the date within the date range is going to vary based upon what type of appointment you are working. For instance, you'll notice in this top section, which is location driven as well, these are appointments that already exist on your calendar. We have appointments to be rescheduled. We already discussed how appointments get to a to be rescheduled list in our earlier video about creating a time block. Appointments to be confirmed. These are appointments that you book far enough in advance based on a property where you stipulate the number of days that auto confirms an appointment. They go into a tentative status until at which time you have confirmed it, and then it goes to a scheduled status. Upcoming appointments gives you a list of all confirmed appointments. Waitlisted appointments will give you a list of patients that, while booking future appointments, requested to be waitlisted for an earlier date if possible. And finally, the requested appointments is for those of you in conjunction with the patient portal who allow your patients the ability of requesting appointments directly through the portal. The lower section, notice, is not location driven. It is rather all locations, and these are for meaningful use basically. Today's video isn't going to go into these options because, as I mentioned, they are more specific to meaningful use and are therefore covered in the patient reminder video under the meaningful use module. So the call list that we're concerned with today is the location-driven list of appointments that already exist. So I'm going to leave it here to be confirmed first of all. And you will see a list of patients up here, and this will vary throughout the day as appointments are being made, and as I mentioned, is based upon a property. Within the configuration files of your appointment scheduling module, you can stipulate a number of days out when an appointment will be automatically confirmed and therefore placed in a scheduled status. It is typically set at 2 days forward. That would mean that if you book an appointment today or for tomorrow, it would never hit your to be confirmed list because it would be auto confirmed. But if you book an appointment 3, 4, 5 days out, or 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks or months into the future, it will not auto confirm because it is greater than 2 days out. That means it would show up on this to be confirmed list 2 days before the appointment date of service. So you could call the patient and remind them you have an appointment tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever the case. You'll notice that there is a hyperlink that has a tooltip pop up. And we notice here on these first ones that we're looking through, didn't have a phone number. Miranda Presley does have a phone number on the tooltip, and Olivia Pope does as well. So you see the convenience of patient registration entering the correct primary contact under patient register, because for those of you at the front desk who want to confirm appointments, you don't have to click anywhere to look for her phone number. It's right there on the tooltip. Now, if you click the hyperlink itself, it opens the appointment. So if there's additional details you need from the appointment, such as the reason or special instructions, or if while you're calling to make the confirmation, they ask to be placed on the wait list or change the doctor or location, or you realize the encounter type is wrong. Since these appointments have not been arrived, they are modifiable. And then finally, you have the confirm arrow. And you'll notice as you hover over this, the tooltip not only says to change status to confirm, but it tells you the provider, the date of the appointment, and the time of the appointment. So that, again, while you're on the telephone, you ideally do not have to leave this screen, so you can make these phone calls in between registering patients at the front desk and doing the work within your office as normal. By clicking the arrow, it will leave the to be confirmed list and become confirmed. Now notice, while I have Tomorrow Boyd in focus down here in the lower left, his status is tentative. If I click the arrow to confirm it, notice it has now gone to a scheduled status. And across the top, he is no longer to be confirmed. Now if I click the upcoming appointments, notice it's a much larger list. Upcoming appointments is every appointment that has already been confirmed, whether manually by you working the call list or those that were auto-confirmed. So in other words, it's a list of all of the appointments in a scheduled status. And you'll notice that because of that, the confirm arrow is not here. Now the appointments are still available to open through the hyperlink in case you do want to go ahead and make changes to the appointment, or some folks will let upcoming be their default view for the day, so that as patients are calling and canceling for the day, they don't have to search because it's already up there showing today's arrivals. So that, of course, is also an option for you. Now, if we go back into the to be rescheduled option, we see the patients that have previously been scheduled in a period of time when the doctor had to clear his schedule. So when that time block was created, they came over to the to be rescheduled list. That is covered in the block time training video. Waitlisted appointments will give you a list of all patients that have requested an earlier date, so that if you have cancellations, you can call them. This tells you that her regular appointment is on October 8th. This one is also on October 8th. That is the confirmed appointment, but they're showing up here on the wait list because they've requested to be brought in at an earlier time. That way, if you had a cancellation on today, you could quickly call, Ms. Presley, you have had a cancellation. Would you like to move your appointment up to today's date? If so, by clicking the name, it opens that future appointment. See, she was scheduled on the 10th, but requested to come in on the 8th. And so now if you've had a cancellation on the 8th, you can simply change that appointment. And then lastly, we have our requested appointments. And this, again, in my training environment has none, but the requested appointments would be for those of you who allow your patients on the portal to request appointments in conjunction with physician availability. Quite honestly, most clients opt out of that option, which of course can be customized at the portal level and not even available to your patients. But if you do choose to give that functionality to your patients, you have a property that you can control, so that rather than it auto-confirming, it instead would come here to your requested list, so that you would have to request the appointment to be confirmed. So those are the different choices you have on working the call list here on the schedule. So in review, the call list allows you to specify the specific date range for patient calls that you would like to remind them of upcoming appointments or appointments that may be due. One of these options are appointments to be confirmed. This, of course, is based on a property that allows you to auto-confirm appointments based on a specified number of days out. When you are confirming them, then it will change the status from tentative to scheduled. You also have an option of upcoming appointments, which are those that have already been confirmed. To be rescheduled are appointments that have previously been canceled by the clinic, and you need to contact the patient to get them rescheduled for a future date. There are waitlisted appointments, requested appointments if you choose to implement those behaviors within your practice, and then there are also meaningful use related reminders, which do not have existing appointments, but rather you're calling to remind them that a service is due. That concludes this video within the series. Please click the appropriate link below for your next step. If you'd like to take a quiz, you will receive your results in real time directly on the screen so that you can see how well you've done. If you answer incorrectly, The system will prompt you with the correct response. In addition, a confidential email will be sent to the education team to help us better serve you with our educational offerings. Second, advance to the next video within the series you're currently in. And finally, return to the video library main page. As always, feel free to contact us through the Resource Center or email with any additional questions or comments.